chemtrails, water evaporation, droughts. Sydney's drinking water is going quicker than ever. Dams are emptying quicker than ever. Why? I believe it's because of the chemtrails. I believe there's a chemical in the chemtrails that makes water evaporate quickly. So I thought I'd do an experiment. I filled up these 8 bottles of water right up to the rim, as you can see there, and I'll put that lid back on because I want everything to be equal. Every single one of them is right to the very top. Now, first I've got distilled water. In that bottle, I've got distilled elite shungite water. I'll leave a link down below of what shungite is and how it purifies water. Lake Lagoon, my little lake, I call Lake Lagoon down the back. I've taken water from the top of that. So I thought if the chemicals are sitting on top of the water, we'll see. I believe these bottles, we'll keep going. Yep, Lake Lagoon again. I've taken that from a metre below the water. I've got Sydney's drinking water I got from Camden, New South Wales, out of just a normal tap. So that's got all the chemicals and everything else in it. I've got another bottle here from the south coast, Nowra. That's their drinking water. Should be very similar or the same as Sydney's drinking water, or the same chemicals should be used in it, and fluoride and everything else to purify it so you can drink it. I've got the Pureau water. This water I bought. It's they use reverse osmosis and they purify all the crap out of the water, or the fluoride, just everything. It's as pure as you're going to get. And I've got my own personal house water that I've got in a concrete tank underground, which isn't exposed to sunlight. And I suppose the chemicals they spray in chemtrails don't land in that water. Sure, when it rains, it might wash the chemicals from chemtrails off my roof into there, but it's not exposed. What I'm going to see is which one evaporates quicker. I'm thinking if the chemtrails are making water, if there's a chemical in the chemtrails that make water evaporate quick, my water here from my lake, I call Lake Lagoon, probably should evaporate first, quicker than maybe the Sydney's drinking water, because they've got all the chemicals and everything else in it before we drink it. Maybe the distilled water and the shungite water will evaporate the least. I don't know. Or my house tank water. I don't know. I'm just thinking if the water is evaporating quicker because of chemtrails, the water out of my lake will have the most chemicals in it from the chemtrails. Second, what I'd say would be my house. Maybe Sydney's drinking water, or South Coast, same thing. Their drinking water is exposed to all these chemicals before they treat it. I'm not sure how quickly that will evaporate. But that's my experiment, to see what will evaporate the quickest. By rights, it's all just water. They all should evaporate exactly the same. They're all in these dark glass bottles, which I wish I could have had it in just normal glasses, white clear, because the dark bottles protect the liquid in them. That's why people use dark bottles to keep their herbs and things. As you can see, these are all herb bottles, good for lots of things. But they're all bottles have been cleaned out the same. Everything here is exactly equal. No, there's no difference in it. So I'm going to put these out in the sun. I made all this up yesterday. I'm going to put these out in the sun. It's too windy now. They're doing too many chemtrails as well. And I'll probably take the lid off and just leave them once all the wind dies down and in an equal position as well. I'll get back to you on this experiment. Now I've put all the bottles out. It's around 2 in the afternoon. Should be in the sun 24 hours from this position. I've got the label of the bottle facing this way, so the sun's shining through the bottle 24 hours. I'm keeping the lid on because they've been spraying chemtrails all yesterday and all this morning. As you can see, very weird. Oh, that's the aftermath of the chemtrails, which they're still doing in the background. But all in a similar position. Now let's see which water evaporates the quickest. Here we are on the 28th of October. I filled all the bottles on the 25th, had them inside for at least 24 hours because of the big winds. I didn't want to put them out in the winds. I put them out on the 27th, so yesterday, out here outside with the lids on. But now it's Monday the 28th of October. I'm going to take the lids off. It's not too bad of a day today. It's a bit of a breeze. Haven't seen any chemtrails being sprayed today. No, these nanoparticles stay in the air. I'm going to take all the lids off and leave them off now and see which water evaporates the quickest. Right, all bottles, as I've showed before, were completely full to the top. Let's go to the side where they're marked. They all look like they've evaporated fairly evenly so far. Except, I'd have to say this one here. The Lake Lagoon, 1 metre below the top of the water, is a touch lower. But I'm not going to jump to any conclusions on that yet because, you know, it's only a few mil. So I've had these bottles out in the sun now for about 10 days in the sun. The weight of the bottle before I put it out, I just wanted to show you here, was 795 grams. Can you see? When it comes to how much evaporation's occurred. But I have weighed them all. Looking at the top, they all look like they've evaporated very similar. I don't know, I wasn't going to post this thinking there's really not that much change in anything. I'll take you through it anyway. Let's have a quick, I'll show you the scale. Here goes the Nowra water at 785. Like I said, the top of the water of my lake, also 785. My house water that's kept in a concrete tank underground, 785. The water from my lake 1 metre below the top, 780. Distilled water, you know, 780, 775, very close. Sydney's drinking water, 775 grams. Reverse osmosis water, that's 770. And the distilled water I had in shungite, soaking. It's not in shungite in that bottle, but it was in shungite for a long time. Oh, it comes in at 765, 770. You could say that's been the lightest so far. What does it prove? I can't really tell you. The evaporation rate, is there more heavy metals in the other water? I don't know. I wasn't going to post it like I said, but I decided to do it. I'm sure there's somebody out there who might be interested in that, these results. And what occurred, if it means anything, if it was in clear bottles and the water was in more exposed, like in a cup instead of a little round lid here, would have the results been different? I'm not sure. Anyway, that's the results. Inconclusive. I don't know what it proves, actually. Someone tell me.